little thing I want to add here, we have, signage for gambling problems. And in a way, why do we offer gambling? So there are people who are willing to dangle, and even, what if those people could run communities or were very hypnotic, if you will? So they get your brain in a space where it seems okay to gamble, and also if you don't have any money, all of a sudden it seems like, what if I just won big once, So those evil giants in the sky dangle all this, right? And then when you're in a quandary, then they advertise, oh, well, if you need help, call this number. It's like, well, there's the food truck one that I ate. Food truck festival, bites, beats, and streets. 12th and Clover, which is on the other side of this complex here. It's behind this building here. 106.1 DJ Jonathan and DJ Reds or whatever. So in a way, the very people who caused your problem to begin with then make you want to pay for it. You see what I mean? We're all influenced on some level. And, the most strictest of churches, and they know better, but they would say, well, you follow temptation, whatever. No. People are actually directed to go to the casinos. And then they're blamed for getting in a hot spot. That is the sickest form of sadism that America seems to be turning a blind eye on. You have to be responsible for your actions. Well, what if, the thing is, people can be controlled to do things. Why do some people get controlled to be super responsible, fabulous people, while others aren't? So the same can be said for everything. You're supposed to, go on for higher education or get a degree in order to have a better job. But what if no jobs come around and you spend 10 years trying to find, anything that'll actually pay the bills that you created during school, Anyway, just saying. What if certain jobs are marketed to certain types of people? You're like, well, I could go that route and get training and say, nursing, work in a hospital, but then you're working with so many people. What if you're ganged up on wherever you work and you're actually one of the highest quality people in terms of character, morale, values, and you don't want to bully anyone, but you wind up bullied out of every job you ever had? Is that your fault? No one can withstand being piled on the way that some people are piled upon. That's a fact. So just something that came up. All kinds of circumstances, all kinds of people come into play who force people into certain directions. And then when people are forced into a direction that winds up being a destructive path for themselves, then they're blamed by the very people who pushed them over there to begin with. We have forgotten as a society what causes people to go down certain paths. So we have forces that come in like a wrecking ball to your family, and then they blame the people, the pieces on the ground, for winding up in a shattered state, desperately trying to figure out how to fix it, cope with society, and so forth and so on. over the years it got weird, and the people who are victimized can't figure out how to, how to respond to people who just keep, making them seem like they're bad. And you're like, wait, she's actually a victim. I see everyone up in Kensington as victims of very bad behavior by other people in their worlds and higher up entities. And they learn to cope through these substances.
So like Monday morning.
By people who are complete spiders or biatches. And then the brain goes into the mode, it's sort of like overeating or what have you. The brain goes into the mode of, oh, I'm so angry, I want to shove this pie down my face, So why do people overeat? Well, first of all, so much food is offered. The whole nation is built upon food. Food is like the #1 industry in general. Restaurants, food, drug trafficking, big pharma. Those are the biggest names in the United States of America. No wonder people overeat. If you're thin and still eat quite a bit, you're super lucky. So food is a drug also. Same thing. What's the difference? Food is legal and a lot of substances are not. But they're used to medicate and numb oneself, right? So, who are the perps? So every single traffic light thing that I've passed has said wait, even though the pedestrian sign is in the favor of the pedestrian. So it begs the question, who's the asswipe who created these things? Not for the benefit of people who can't see or something, but for their own benefit to irritate the hell out of people. These are actually created to irritate people. Can you believe that? All of a sudden we need a talking signal here. Is there one blind person in the entire area? Probably not. And even if they are, they have guides. There are old school tactics that work better than some irritating traffic light.
Wait.
The most irritating voice is over there, and it's a South Philly dialect or accent that needs to go, if you know what I mean.